Alright, so today I am installing the oil cooler, Z1 oil cooler for the G37 sedan. You do have to take off your bumper, which I already just showed you, but to install it, and then if you have an under tray, take off the under tray, which I also showed. But yeah, today we're installing the Z1 oil cooler. I've installed eBay ones, the mocal. I've installed eBay ones and they've worked and they've done all right. I mean, you could do an eBay if you don't want to buy this, but the only thing that sucks about the eBay are the lines. The lines are not the best. So these lines are like top notch from like obviously like company oil coolers, but if you buy an eBay setup, you could just easily buy like upgraded lines, or you could go somewhere and make your own lines, but you just need to upgrade your lines. But I've been working double OT, so I bought an actual branded oil cooler because this one comes with the bracket and stuff, and like, you know, all the things, and it fits on in a certain way for the VQ. But the eBay ones, you got to make your own brackets, and you could either, what I did was I made it sit on top of here. I bolted it right here and I let it sit under here, or you could bolt it up right here. This is where the bracket sits and it gets held right here. So I'm gonna get into this. It shouldn't be too hard. If you buy the Z1, or I think any like high brand, they have mounts for it and directions. For the Z1, there's a PDF online that you could read if you don't watch the video, but I'm here to do this. So it should be easy, but the first things you got to do, you don't have to, but I've done it every time I've done a oil cooler, is do an oil change. So I waited for my oil to be needed to be changed, so I'm gonna change it. Yeah, so we're gonna dump the oil first and then we're gonna start installing it. All right, so there's clips here, 1 2 3 4 5 6. I only have a couple in because I've taken my bumper off before and I just got clips and zip ties holding it. There's 3 bolts here, 1 2 3, and same on this side. So 3 bolts, clips, 3 bolts for the top part. And so the 2 bolts are right here, 1 2, and then the third one is holding this piece together, which you could get from right here inside of here, and it's a 10 mil, and it'll literally, it's this one right here, and it'll be inside the bumper here, and you just need a 10 mil with the extender to get it, and you can get it from this side. And the same goes with that side. So 3 3, and then clips, and then you'll be down at the top. And then on the side here, Navi, dude, there is 2 bolts. I don't know if you can see it, but there's one right here. I have it zip tied, and then there's another one in the back. Let's see, right there where the zip tie's at, and then there's another one. Put my finger on it right there where my finger's at. So right there, boom. So on each side there's 2 bolts, 1 2 right here, and then 1 2 on the other side, and the bumper will come off. But you do have to take off this shield right here, which you could easily just unclip with your hand. You see, you might have to take off a clip or 2. Like, there's, the wheel's gonna be in the way, you could turn the wheel, but there's like clips in here, but I don't have one on the other side. But I mean, you could manage to pop this out and not fully take it out and get the 2 10s. But once you get those 2 10s, then the bumper will come off. If you're struggling to get the clips out, this tool is really easy to use for it. You could buy it on Amazon, AutoZone. So like, you could buy a single one. I bought a set on Amazon, but this thing's really nice. Literally just slide under there and just go up instead of struggling with a flathead and breaking it. So yeah, W tool. And I forgot, I don't have an undercarriage, but if you have an undercarriage, there's I think 1 2 3 4 There's like 5 bolts underneath on the undercarriage that you have to get, and this should come off after. So a couple bolts underneath for the undercarriage if you do have one, and then 6 on top, and then 2 on each side on the corner here, and then clips. So yeah, and they're all 10 mils. All right, we're gonna drain the bad boy oil. Make sure, I know if you don't do an oil change, you just have to take this off, because the oil cooler, you have to put the sandwich plate right here and all that stuff, and then I think you have to fill it up again. But when you install an oil cooler, you're gonna have to put in more oil, so make sure you buy more than usual. I think the usual amount is like 5 quarts and 5.5, something like that. Shit. Drain this bad boy. Tasty. Look how low I was. But make sure you always only have one hand. That shit is really hard to take off. I don't know why mine's really hard, but make sure you take off the top cap so the oil can flow. I don't know why the hell this shit was so tight. My shit is always stupid tight. Leave that right there. Now, there you go. The air is down this thing. Shit smells nice and dark. Oh yeah, that smells. Y'all see any chunks? That's really nasty. You should have seen my catch cans. Shit look like chocolate milk. I don't see any chunks. The gallery gasket. Hurt my knuckle opening that. Alright, well, let's do this real quick. Hold on. Hold towards me. Alright, I'm doing this all one hand. A little hard. Now I gotta move this around like this. And now it's gonna go like that. And I think this is a pull towards me. Yep. There you go. Quick little oil change. Oh, draining the oil first. Loosen it up a bit. That's that hand drip. That shit reeks like a mofo. Leave that over there. Oh, I did not mean to put that right there. Alright, before I even like get into the install with the lines, certain lines come with protection and stuff. Like I know Z1 provides I don't know if it's nylon or some type of protector to go around the hoses, but that thing was 50 bucks. So I went on Amazon and bought myself some nylon. I'll link it down in my video, but it's some nylon protection just so the hoses don't get cut up. It's nothing too crazy. It's thin, but I mean, it'll still do its job. I forgot it holds a lot of heat, but I bought that for like 15 bucks. Cut it up, zip tie it around, so instead of paying 50 bucks, I paid 15 just for it to do maybe almost the same thing. Protect it, get it keep from rubbing on something. So yeah, because when you put these lines in, you got to put them in a certain way so they don't rub and they don't like get cut on something. So there might be some plastic pieces I think you have to remove actually. Like I think you have to remove this one, but we'll see. All right guys, here's the oil cooler. I got the smallest one. I think this is 16 rows mocal. All right, first things first, we're gonna install the bracket. We're gonna install the bracket on the oil cooler. Doesn't matter which way it goes, or the oil cooler could go either way. Yeah, the oil cooler could go either way. But this, these plastic, or not plastic, but styrofoam, I don't even know what the material says, but it sits like this on here. goes like this, so it'll be pointing downwards like that. And when you install it, use these, and this is gonna go in here. This piece is gonna slide right in here, so you slide it in right there, and you bolt it up from underneath. So I'm gonna do one side real quick, and then I'm gonna show you the other. All right, so you're gonna go like this. Metal piece goes on top. Squish it down like that. This is how the direction has it in the PDF. Everything I'm doing is from directions. If I don't say, or I'll mention it if it's not whatever I'm doing in directions, but this should slide in here. And then you have, these are Allen keys. I hate these an Allen key, but you just pop it in there underneath and tighten it. A little hard to do with one hand, but I can manage. Allen key. Sorry if you can hear. Sounds mowing the grass in the back. Just like that. Boom. Just like that. From underneath. I don't know why they have it screwed underneath, but I'm just following directions. Like I said, I've never used the bracket, so I usually, or like a bracket given to me, I usually buy like homemade ones, or like I make homemade ones from like Ace or Home Depot, and then I attach them. Oh, almost dropped that. You don't want to drop these. Attach it up here, and then bolt it up to the whatever freak this is, the freaking bash bar, and let it hang from right there. You can do that too, but yeah. All right, so now this is bolted up. You're gonna attach this piece, and this piece is gonna go in one of those holes. For each size there's different holes, so this piece will go like right here, just like that. So I gotta do that. I need more than one hand, so I'm gonna set it up, and then I'm gonna show you how to put on the sandwich plate. And for the sandwich plate, you're gonna need where's it at? You're gonna need a 1-inch extension, or a, I think 25 millimeters. So if you don't have one of those, get those. You're gonna need that. And then you have to put on the sandwich plate correct, or a certain way, for the 09 to 2010 models, or 2011, 2012 up, I think you put it anyway, but 09 to 11, you have to put it on a certain way, and I'll show you right now. But first, I'm gonna just mount this up. I'll show you like where to put all the things, but first I'm just gonna set this up real quick. I'm actually gonna put these on first before I put the bracket on and stuff, because I think it'd be easier to put this on. But you could use I always use the like adjustable wrench to tighten these on. But if you already have a bracket up, then you're gonna need, it's a little harder, but you know, just put it on right now. But these are, I think they're aluminum, so you want to be really careful. I'm also gonna be using some Teflon tape, because I just always use Teflon tape. You can get that anywhere, any hardware store, but it came with my catch cans I bought on Amazon. But I think this for a bolt is, I tried my 27 and it fits, but these are aluminum. You want to be real careful. So I'm gonna wrap these up with Teflon tape, and then I'm gonna hand tight them onto here, and then I'm gonna just snug them tight with the wrench real quick. So I'm just gonna show you guys, this is how you put on the Teflon tape. Nothing too crazy. I'm pretty sure if you know what Teflon tape is, then you know how to install it. It's not hard. Like literally, this is like cheap Teflon tape though, but I mean, it'll still get the job done. You probably just need to wrap it around the threads like 1 or 2 times. Let me hold this. No hands between my legs, but like literally, well, I don't want this. Oh, that's fine, yeah. But I'm gonna wrap that around there 1 time, and then you could probably go another time, but I'm gonna call it quits. But fix it, make sure it's on the threads, just like that. My grandpa taught me always put Teflon tape. I mean, it's like extra security, you know? And then when I pop this off, it should just pop off. Yeah. And then there you go. Screw on there. Just like that. Hand tight, snug. Does not clip on. I almost fell onto my freaking thing. Put this on here and just snug it up. We don't need anything tight. Just that's snug. I am going to show you guys real quick that these are the pieces. I already said that this piece is going to go right here. It sits on here somehow. But then these two black pieces and these gold ones right here, these two pieces go right here. Boom, boom. So the pointy part goes in the back. Slide that down, put it in, slide that down, put it in. And then you can see right here, I was putting it on. I was trying to do it yesterday, but it was raining, so I just stopped real quick. But yeah, it bolts up depending like where it lines up, but you can make it line up anywhere. All right, so I follow directions and I still get problems as always, but these are the holes where it's supposed to go in, and it was sitting too high, like the oil cooler, so like the bolts couldn't fit in the hole. So all I did was drill, and I just literally lifted it up, or just you could just grind it or cut it up, whatever you could do, but all I did was that a bit. I mean, it works perfectly and now it fits. But it's these pieces right here, and this pointy part goes in the back. You just pop it in there and it fits now. But before you bolt that up right there, you want to put this bracket on. I believe the bracket goes on like this, goes on under like this, just like that. And then this piece is supposed to sit in there, but I don't think it's gonna fit. I'm probably gonna have to grind it or cut it open. All right, this mother effort don't even fit. I'm making my own bracket. I'm done, dude. Like literally, I'm doing everything right and nothing fits. Nothing's fitting. Shit is crazy, dude. It really is. Well, this fits at least. Like I'm doing everything right as the directions, and nothing is still fitting. Isn't that crazy? Pay all this money. I even tried drilling it, just like it. Basically, when I put the bracket on, and I know I'm putting it on right because I'm looking at directions, it sits out more, and then now I can't even put it in the bolts, so then I'd have to re-drill it. So at this point, I'm gonna just let it sit right here, and I'm gonna make my own bracket in the future. But for now, I'm gonna just zip tie this together because I don't give a damn. But I think it's fine. So this piece, there's the center piece goes on and it screws on, and this piece moves around. So you're gonna face it at a 90-degree angle facing the motor mount. Motor mount's right here, and the alternator. So just basically how I have it looking. You don't want this slightly pointed down and these pointed up, and just hand tighten it, because then they'll have room for the hoses. You don't need it perfect, but this piece, wait, I think I grabbed the wrong, nope, this is the right one. It wants to go on. Why is it not going on? What the? This is an inch, right? It should fit on there. There you go. I'm gonna just keep hand tightening it. Okay, now there's not really enough play. I just hand tighten it real good. But yeah. All right, I just tightened it until I can't. So it's like snug, like hand tight. You don't want to go any more than that. And move this. If it's not moving, then you're secured. See how I have it? These hoses still pointed out. I had to hold it or tilt it down a bit and then tighten it hard because it was moving as I was tightening it. But this is the exact position you want it. All right, I'm installing the lines. Make sure One line's bigger than the other, so this one's the bigger one, and the bigger one goes on the far right. I already put some Teflon tape on here, but now I'm gonna just run this through everywhere, and then I'm gonna slowly just install everything. So make sure the long one goes on the right. So I'm gonna put this on real quick. Okay, so I figured out you gotta take this piece off. There's a piece right here, and you gotta take it off, and it comes off with this one. And there's like just like little clips in there. I don't know about this. I think it just comes off. I'm not wrong. But yeah. And then, oh, you know what? Wait, no. Yeah, it just pops out. Lift it up over these lines. Because this is where you're gonna have to run the hoses. Alright, there you go. It's a lot easier if you don't have intakes, but I got intakes, so take that off. And you're basically gonna run the hoses. You can, depending if you have intakes, you can run it right here. If you do, I'm gonna run it behind the intakes. I'm probably gonna zip tie it to this, run it right through here, and there's a crack right in there. And you're gonna run it in there. You can't really freaking see it. I think that little crack, I'm gonna try to run it through there. That's like the only way to keep it safe. All right, guys, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I had to take off a lot of stuff. Honestly, you didn't need to take the bash bar off, but I took it off because I had to take this piece off, which holds your stock intakes, because this was, I was struggling to get it through. And I know you could get it through, but honestly, I don't care, because I have 3-inch intakes, so I don't need this. So I moved it, and then I also removed the undershield. I know you have to remove this, I said, but I removed not the undershield, I guess the shield for the wheel right here. And it's just, everything was a lot better to do, because I think you do have to take that off. I mean, you could put it back on, but you could not see, because so how you're supposed to run it is, so the lines are right here, and then they go over the bash bar, over this hose, over this metal piece right here, both of them. And you're technically supposed to run it through both of here, but I just couldn't. So I just ran it over here because it's so tight. I might actually, no, because there's a bracket right here. I mean, you probably could get it through. I might do it right now. But this is how this is the idea here. So both the hoses right here, over the sway bar, over this hose, and then over this metal piece. It doesn't matter where you put it there, but then through this little hole. And I took off the sway bar so you could see it better, but it does fit. But with the sway bar, it's gonna be nice and tight, and so you're gonna have to run it like this. And so people run it like this, where they push it inside here, and then you can either run it in the front right here, or you can run one behind here. Doesn't matter. But I took the bash bar off, so everything could just be a lot easier for me. So I forgot to even mention that some of these are you could easily get in there and tighten these if you didn't tighten them. Yeah, because they don't come tighten on the sandwich plate, so you have to tighten them. But it doesn't matter, because you can easily hand tighten them pretty good with the bolt or even an adjustable wrench before getting in it. But what you're going to do is take out this one so you could tighten that one, because it's a lot easier with this out of the way to do that. And then you could put this one back in there, tighten it up, hand tighten it with the bolt, because that's all you need, and then hand tighten that on there, and then adjustable wrench as much as you can, and then it's good. It won't leak. So yeah, that's a pretty good, I forgot you had to do that. I had to do that multiple times with my eBay ones. It's just better to work around the stuff, or not to work around it, and just take things apart and then put together. Like I said, you take this piece off, and then you're able to tighten this one on there really good with the adjustable wrench. And then after you put this one on there, hand tighten it, and then you tighten this hose, and you'll have room to tighten that one right here. Because if you have this on there, it's really hard to tighten this one. So yeah, I'm gonna put this one on real quick. All right, so I ran everything, tighten it up. Here's what I mean by what you could use to tighten, wherever it is, adjustable wrench. Just nice and hand tight, and put Teflon tape This is how it looks under. Tightened it as best as I can. Just tighten it. Everything, double check, make sure nothing's loose. Make sure everything's tightened. And then now we're gonna put the oil filter on there. And then we're gonna put the bash bar back on, and we're gonna zip tie these pieces together and set them probably under the intakes, if I'm gonna be honest. Probably zip tie them like that. Make sure everything sits nice. Look, I zip tied that piece right there because I mean, it ain't going nowhere. I'll probably zip tie it to another thing over here. But when I first did my eBay one, I had one mount and then zip ties. That was my other mount, hanging it sideways, and it did the job. So all right, so I'm gonna put the bash bar back on, I'm gonna put the oil filter back on, and then I'm gonna get back to you guys, and then we're gonna put in some oil and put the regular amount. Run your car, or you could check it beforehand, but you're always gonna need to put a little more than usual. But I like to just put, even on a regular oil change, I don't even put 5 quarts. I put, because there's always extra oil sitting in there, I put probably like less than 5 quarts, and then I just keep checking it, and then when it's leveled, I'll run it for a bit, get it nice and going, or it's just good to go. But this, you're gonna need a little more oil, but just do your normal thing with the oil change. Just put it in a little bit till you get 5. Double check it to just keep checking the stick until it's leveled, and then yeah. But I'll explain it again right now. But I'm gonna just double check everything, make sure everything's tightened up perfectly, make sure the lines are put together and they're not in the way of rubbing. So I'm gonna do that. All right, so put everything on. I zip tied it. You can't really see. I zip tied it right there. I zip tied it right here. Should be fine. Now the bumper's gonna sit flush with it. Zip tied it right here, and then underneath here I have a zip tied right here. I think it'll be fine sitting like this. I honestly don't think anything's gonna happen. There's clearance on the wheel. I know it's not gonna touch the wheel, so it's all good if it's sitting out like that. But I got the oil and everything's good. Now the next thing to do is to put oil in. Alright, so I'm currently putting oil. If you're wondering what oil I'm using, Mobile 1. Same 5,000 for engines, high mileage, extended performance. I always get the one for the higher miles. I'm at like, I barely hit 100K. But with all my cars, I ran Mobile 1. Just always have, always will. I don't know. Alright, I just turned my car on. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I'm gonna back it up. Filled it up. It took actually took a lot of oil, more than I expected. Usually it doesn't take that much, but I think it's because I let it sit for a long time and drain a lot of oil. I usually just let it drain real quick, and then once it's like dripping barely, I let it go. But it was probably like dripping for a cool minute. So anyways, I went through like 5 quarts and then a little bit, only a tad bit after. And it was on the half thing. Turn on my car. I'm gonna let it idle for like 5 minutes. Everything seems like it's not leaking. This piece is good. That piece is good. Going to the car might be a little loud. These pieces are good. That was some leftover oil. Do not forget to double check your oil after it's done running. This is technically the end of the video. If you have any questions, comment down below. Make sure you double check all your work. Make sure there's no everything's tightened up good. At the end of the day, I guess it's okay to spend a little extra money on a name brand oil cooler, but eBay does work. It's just the lines are booty and you got to make your own little bracket. Even though Z1's bracket was a little off, I followed the directions correctly. Maybe it wasn't for the sedan, but I mean it was showing directions for a 370, so maybe that's why. But for a G37 sedan, Got it sitting perfect, no issues, ain't moving, it's on there good, ain't leaking, equipment's pretty good. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you guys have any questions, comment down below. If I missed anything, ask me if you're curious. But I'll link the material, the nylon cover for my hoses down below. I'll link the Z1 oil cooler I bought, and yeah, I'll even link the oil and all the oil I use. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like I said, leave a like. So laters.